నవీన్ చంద్ర గారి గురించి మాట్లాడాలి అంటే ఇక్కడ తెలుగులో భానుమతి అండ్ రామకృష్ణ మూవీతో మీరు డెబ్యూ చేశారు నవీన్ చంద్ర గారి పక్కన, అండ్ తమిళ్లో కూడా మీరు నవీన్ చంద్ర గారి పక్కనే డెబ్యూ చేశారు. ఏంటి కోఇన్సిడెన్స్ ఏంటి?
Coincidence, yes, of course. The first film, Sarabam, was, of course, I didn't know Naveen that time. He was an actor. And that was my first film because I started with theatre and I was very active in theatre. And then they wanted a performance-oriented girl to play in Sarabam. When I came, I had no idea. I didn't know, my DOP kept telling me, take light, take light. I used to wonder, like, what is he saying, take light? What does that mean? Because as an stage artist, I'm used to like moving around freely, I'm not like, in camera, they tell you, this is your frame and everything. So, Naveen taught me that. He taught me how to take light. He told me never let an actor cut your light. He really helped me in the film. More than that, he helped me as a friend. I was not on social media. I was very shy as a person, and he kind of helped me with all of that. And he always used to tell me, you have to come to Telugu. You look exactly like a Telugu girl, and you are going to like really, people are going to love you in Tollywood and everything. So it took me so many years because I'm also, I don't know, I'm like kind of shy and scared, and it takes me very long to kind of do an okay to a project because I'll think about it. So it could have not been a better timing for like a lot of years. In these 2-3 years after Sarabam, I got a lot of offers from Tollywood, but I was not so sure because I didn't know the people. It was a very unknown territory for me. And with Bhanumati Ramakrishna, when Srikanth, because he was in touch with me, and more than all this, the subject resonated with me. So that's why if you see my choice of work, I go anywhere. If it can be Tamil Nadu to New York to Europe to Bombay to anywhere, because the subject kind of draws me. So I couldn't have been more lucky and more happy and more fortunate to do this film with Naveen, because of course he's great as Ramakrishna, as you can see, and he and me share a very we share a very good friendship, which kind of makes it very we don't have to prepare. Like, we will talk, about our characters. But when we are on screen, it's just, I think we are feeding off each other as actors. And that kind of really helps. And of course, Naveen is an amazing person. If you get to know him, he's a really nice person. So that also made me very comfortable on the sets. And then, of course, when I met this beautiful team. So one should know that how Bhanumati Ramakrishna was actually made. It was a very small film with a very small crew, but each and every member of that crew is, what do I say? They were so amazing at what they did. Like, my producer Yash, that was the first day I met him on set. My director, he introduced me, and immediately we became such good friends. And so was Srikanth, and and my DOP Sai, he's done such a brilliant job. It was only 5-6 of us, and Raghu was our EP. It was just 5-6 of us traveling with the film, and how they took care of me and protected me and taught me Telugu and introduced me to the food and made me so comfortable. Now I really feel Hyderabad is my home. Okay. And I really feel that when films are made with positivity and with happiness and a good intention, it shows on screen. So I feel that was the beauty of Bhanumati and Ramakrishna, and we are also very grateful for the great response that is coming. And we always keep saying, that scene we did on the ORR highway, and we had just put one camera. A lot of guerrilla shots are there, in the film. So they were very natural. Like most of the film, I'm not even wearing makeup. If you see, it's like very raw. It's like it's very raw. It's nothing. Clothes are also very relatable.
సలోని గారు ప్రతి ఒక్కరి లైఫ్లో, అంటే మేబీ యాక్టర్స్ అనే కాకుండా ప్రతి ఒక్కరి లైఫ్లో బ్యాడ్ ఫేజ్ గుడ్ ఫేజ్ అనేవి రెండూ ఉంటాయి. అండ్ ఈ ఇండస్ట్రీలో ఉన్న వాళ్ళకి ఇంకొంచెం ఎక్కువగా ఈ మూవీ ఆఫర్స్ పరంగా కావచ్చు, అనుకున్నది పర్టికులర్ టైంలో అచీవ్ అవ్వకపోవడం, ఇలాంటి స్ట్రెస్ అండ్ ప్రెషర్స్ తోటి ఎక్కువగా ఇంకా ఫీల్ అవుతూ ఉంటారు, బ్యాడ్ థింగ్స్ అండ్ ఎవ్రీథింగ్. అలా మీ లైఫ్లో మీరు ఫేస్ చేసిన బ్యాడ్ ఫేజ్ ఏంటి, బ్యాడ్ ఫేజ్ ఆఫ్ యువర్ లైఫ్, అండ్ హౌ డిడ్ యూ ఓవర్కమ్?
Yes, see, as an artist, yes, because I come from a family which is, nobody is there in the field of arts, if we can call it that. My father's an engineer, my brother's an engineer, my grandfather's a lawyer, my great-grandfather was a lawyer. So there was a lot of pressure on studies, and I myself my father made sure I'm, properly educated, highly educated. So there was a lot of pressure from family also. You know, it was the choice that I made was not taken very well, because they were like, you know, you're going into a field of cinema which you know, it's not non-filmy families are very scared of that. You know, the business families are very scared of that, and I couldn't understand at that time, because I also did not know. I was just wanted to be an artist, and I wanted to you know, kind of put my art out there, and I put my you know, like I went through the study. Like I when I was in college, I got a lot of offers for films, but I didn't take it up that time, because I was like, you know, I don't know anything about acting, and I don't want to make a fool of myself just because, you know, people used to say that you're pretty and, you know, you look like an actress. I mean, it's a serious job. So after my education was finished, I kind of told my family, which was not taken very well. And then I went to do theatre. I learned, and I just promised my dad one thing, that I know you're scared. I'll also be more careful, and I'll also try to do responsible cinema. That also makes me a little more shy, and I'm not very I'm very approachable as a person, but I'm very shy to take on you know, projects, because I want that it should be a value creating work for me. So yes, I've had my share of ups and downs, and I would like to talk about it, because so I'm able to kind of reach out to people who are going through that you know, I mean, of course we all go through, like, you know, if somebody's working in an office also, they'll go through ups and downs, but in our field it is more. Why is it more? Because it is about that one person. We are judged, like, you know, if somebody says, for instance, you know, I've not got a role, instantly I'll start doubting myself. Maybe I was not good enough. Maybe I could have done it better. Maybe he didn't like it. Or, you know, there's so many things to it, which makes us self-doubt and makes us feel low, and you know, it kind of breaks your confidence, you know, in short. But you know, I have a very different approach to my path. Like I've always wanted to have my own path as an actor. I didn't know where it will take me. You know, when I started out, I really did not know, will I be successful or will I make a fool of myself? And more than that, I felt that I'm going to make a fool of myself and not my family. You know, outside people will still talk. My family will be like, see, we told you not to do this. My family used to tell me, what do you think, you're an actress? What is wrong with you? You know, like, you know. So, you know, those pressures are definitely there. But yes, I know there's a lot of talk about nepotism, and I know that's what you want to talk about. Of course, there's a lot of talk about nepotism, and it's a lot of...
Did you ever feel that nepotism?
Yes, I will not lie. Definitely there is nepotism, but in which field there is no nepotism? You know, if I was an air hostess, I would feel, you know, in a corporate job there is nepotism. There is a nepotism in any field. If it's an ad agency or if you're a doctor, you know, like there is nepotism everywhere. But yes, here it is talked more. Here, because it is more evident, and there is more favoritism also that happens here, and it is a lot to do with camping, and it is a lot to do with who knows who. So I had this choice in my life, and I was also going through not so good phase, let's put it like that, and I was also weak, and I was questioning myself that you know, am I even meant to do this? Am I fooling myself? You know, is this just in my head that I want to express myself as an actor, and is it maybe people don't want to, like, maybe I'm not going to be good at what I do. You know, there's so many questions, but that is the time I kind of course, I have to thank, you know, like I'm a big believer in God, and I really have to thank Him and my you know, my well-wishers and my family, you know, who kind of guided me, but more about my faith in God, that kind of. So I had two choices, you know, I could either at that time cry about, you know, that this film was denied to me because there was a star kid that was bought onto that film, or you know, I don't know these people, so I could not approach them, or, you know, maybe I could not put influence or whatever. But I then realized, I said, what can I do? What responsibility can I take? I took it on myself. I said, I will make myself so good. What is in my hand? To only polish my craft, only to work hard as an actor. So I would do theatre. I would spend long hours in bettering myself as an actor, even if it was a you know, audition or whatever. I would give it 100%. And of course, you know, you get really sad also when you know, when you put in so much hard work and it doesn't take you anywhere. But I kept doing it. I think that was what saved me, honestly. I kept working on my craft. You know, I didn't let time go. I kept working on my craft, and I feel you know, nobody can you know, if you're good, it will take you time. Definitely, it's not going to be instant, because when you don't have somebody to launch you, it's going to take time. But people will find you.